Welcome to hell. Peyton Snakeback here again for another movie review for you guys tonight. I just got done watching Tales from the Hood Part 2, which is technically the sequel to the 1995 movie that came out 23 years ago. Which basically you don't have to see the first one to see this because it's totally different. I just got done watching this with my pop-up. He said he liked it too. And I think he has seen the first one a long time ago. But I just got done watching this. There was a YouTube video of this. So make sure to check that out before it gets deleted, because I downloaded the movie onto my flash drive. So that's how I got to see it. A couple of days early before it gets released to Blu-ray, which is on this Tuesday. So I saw it 3 days early, actually. And my cousin saw this movie last night, and she said that it was worth watching. But when it comes to Tales from the Hood, let's just say it gives me a really good memory of when I first watched the movie. I think it was right when I was like 2, maybe 3 years old. This is how I got into like the horror movies. I remember every time my parents were watching this, I always saw the scene, the one with the doll in the first one, the little black dolls, and you know, when I was little, I was always like, what is that movie? I want to know what it was, and I found out that was Tales from the Hood. But basically, if you don't know what the movie is, both of these are basically anthology horror movies. But the first one, I'm going to talk a little bit about the first one, then I'm going to talk about this. But the first one, which came out to Scream Factory last year on Blu-ray, it was basically about these three gangsters. They go to this funeral home and they're trying to buy some drugs, but of course, the funeral guy, I don't know what you call him, I think the preacher or the pastor, he's telling them these like stories, these scary stories, and I always remember the first, probably the second story and the third story. I always forgot what happened. I forgot the first story and the fourth one. I forgot what those were about, but I remember the second one and the third one, because those were the stories I always watched when I found out, you know, the part about the dolls was the ones I was watching as a kid, you know. The second story and it was about you know, the little boy named Walter. He's always coming to school with these bruises, and he's saying that it's a monster that's doing it. And the third one was the one about the dolls. I think it was like this racist, like, president or something, is getting killed by these little miniature dolls that's coming out of a picture frame. Alright, but that's basically what the first one's about. But this movie, this is basically about a guy, I forgot what he was, but he was like, goes to like this airport place. They're about to do this, like, I don't know what it was that he was going to, like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but he goes to this, like, airport place called, Dumbass Beach, and, of course, as he's there, he's telling there's 4 scary stories in this one as well, and, you know, as he's talking to him, telling them the stories, I mean, they're being recorded on this computer. And I gotta say, 3 out of 4 of the stories were good. The first 3 were good. The fourth one, we're not gonna talk about the fourth story because it was so confusing. My pop-up said he got it, but I couldn't understand what it was about. The first one was when I watched the trailer, it showed like a picture of, like, you know, the doll. The little doll that was in the first movie, and he's in the first story, but it has nothing to do with him though. He's in it for like a minute, But it was cool to see him in this, because, you know, it brought back a lot of memories, you know. But it was basically about this girl and her friends. Shirley wants to buy this puppet. I forgot what she called the puppet. At this, like, weird museum, and the guy says none of these things are for sale, but she really wants it, because I guess she used to have the doll as a kid or something. And so she has a plan one night on breaking into the museum and trying to steal the doll. But of course, things go very wrong, and don't really want to ruin what happens in that one. The second one was about this, like this psychic who it was basically a fraud, basically a fake. It was like these gangsters. They ended up killing this one guy because they were looking for some kind of money, and they thought they'd go to this, you know, this famous psychic who is a fake. They end up seeing if they can, like, what do you call it? Basically bring back the guy from the dead, and the guy that they killed, bring him back from the dead so he could tell them where the money is and stuff. And of course, everything goes wrong in that one. The third one, I don't really want to spoil it, because, I mean, there's a really good twist to it, but the only thing I'm just going to say is it's basically about vampires. That's pretty much all I'm going to say, because I don't really want to ruin it. And the fourth story, like I said, we're not going to talk about, because it was so confusing. I couldn't really get my mind on what was going on. And I have to say, I really love this movie, but it's not, and I wasn't expecting it to be like the greatest movie of all, like perfect. But I loved how, you know, they brought a movie like this back. You know, I wasn't bored with it, and it was pretty good. And some of the stories had some very good gore scenes in this. It had some very good death scenes in this. That's what I will say. So it was pretty cool to actually see this movie. I really did enjoy it for what it was. Definitely check this one out if you guys have never seen it. You really don't have to see the first one to see this, because, like I said, no connection. But really, you know, you should see the first one as well, because the first one is a classic, and it's a very good movie. You know, but hopefully, like, you know, another anthology horror movie is going to come out to Blu-ray soon, which is, you know, Trilogy of Terror, which talk about those a lot. Hopefully the second one will come out to Blu-ray soon, and the Willies and Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. Hopefully those will come out soon. But yeah, but that's pretty much all I had to say about this. I just wanted to give my quick little review of what I thought about this movie, because now I gotta say, I've been looking forward to seeing this ever since I heard it. I was kind of excited, because when I saw the little doll in the trailer, I was like, wow, he's gonna come back again, because, you know, it was kind of like Trilogy of Terror too, because, you know, in the first one it was in the third story about the Zuni fetish doll, but then he comes back in the second one as well. I thought it was going to be something like that, but it wasn't. Just to let you guys know, I mean, he's in it for like a minute, which is kind of cool, you know. But it was cool seeing him in this, you know. But like I said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys possibly tonight or tomorrow for a DVD and Blu-ray update. Because I got 10 movies to talk about. I'm not going to say what they are. I'm not going to say how many DVDs or Blu-rays I got. So, yep. Stay tuned. Bye.